Trap is the latest M. Night Shyamalan film starring Josh Hartnett and came to us this past Friday, August 2nd. So, M. Night Shyamalan has had one of the most interesting career paths, I think, out of any modern director. I've always referred to him as kind of the Weezer of film because, you know, he's praised so much for his earlier brilliance, which, you know, is brilliance, it's great. But with every subsequent release, he kind of got weirder and weirder until he entered this era of just making some of the worst content we've ever gotten in the filmscape. And then he kind of had a mid-career resurgence, and now, you know, everybody just was like, oh, he's back, and then started making weird yearly releases. It's actually kind of eerie how similar Weezer's career path and Shyamalan's has been. Anyway, I have such a contentious relationship with M. Night Shyamalan. I think that he is a very talented visual director. I think that he really knows how to compose a shot, how to tell a story visually. I think he's very good at that. However, I think that as a screenwriter, he fails on almost every level, and it's hilarious how bad he is at crafting dialogue, how shitty he is at creating a narrative. So I've always been of the mind, Shyamalan, just, you know, direct your movies, don't write them. You can have a hand in the story if you want, you can have a hand in the creation process, don't write your movies. Obviously he hasn't listened to me because he continues to be this writer-director, and he continues to put out baffling project after baffling project. Old, back in 2021, I believe, was one of the worst movies of that year. It was just ludicrous. You can't even really make sense of a movie like that. It just has to be seen to be believed. But then he kind of came back with Knock at the Cabin. Not a great movie by any means. It still has a lot of flaws, but I actually found it to be kind of entertaining. And then we are met with Trap this year, and I was very excited based on the trailers. I thought they looked actually halfway decent. I thought that, oh, okay, like, I can see a lot of tension here. I can see ways where he can make this work. I can see, you know, a world in which this movie, I don't know, isn't embarrassing and isn't the usual Shyamalan schlock. So yeah, I was kind of excited for Trap. And then I sat down to watch the movie, and I consumed the movie, and I talked about it with my friends after seeing it, and I conversed with other people online, and I thought about it for an entire night. I waited to review this specifically because I wanted to think it over, and I've got nothing. I have nothing. This movie is insane. It is actually boggling to the mind that this movie was put to tape, that this movie was filmed, it was edited, it was written, it was performed, every single aspect that goes into making a movie. All of those were done, and at every way, somebody was like, yeah, that's a good idea, yeah, let's do that. That seems like the right decision here. Excuse me. I literally cannot comprehend why this movie was made, and how a human being honestly came to the decisions that M. Night Shyamalan came to in this film while crafting this story. There are so many moments that I was laughing hysterically out loud that I know were not intentional, that I know M. Night was seen as like this cool, slick thriller, yada yada yada. And it just face plants. A lot of people are calling this movie intentionally funny. It's not. It's actually very boring. A lot of this movie is mundane. A lot of this movie, there's nothing happening. There is legitimately... Okay. So the first half of this film, and this is not a spoiler whatsoever, the very first half of this movie is basically an advertisement for one of M. Night Shyamalan's kids' music. It is practically a full concert with intermittent 5-minute snippets of Josh Hartnett's character going on pointless side quests. He does these things that really just seem like busy work. They seem like moments that, you know, aren't like, oh, he's getting in the mind of the FBI agents. Oh, he's outsmarting them. He's outmaneuvering them at every turn. No, he's just doing random crap the entire time. He's just, I don't know how to describe it. He's just doing shit that he's just doing random crap, and it doesn't stick the landing ever. It's not entertaining. It's not funny. It's not thrilling. It's not interesting at all. There's no underlying message. There's no underlying, theme. There's no, great plot twist that keeps you in the film. There's no, like, drama that thickens the plot the entire time. It's just bullshit. And it's so monotonous, and it's so nothing that it drives you insane, and it drags out the pacing of this movie tenfold. It felt like Shyamalan ran out of ideas on page 10. Like, it's legitimately embarrassing. And then you pivot to the second half of this movie, and it is so batshit bonkers insane that it feels like a completely different movie, and is still also so incredibly stupid and asinine and underbaked that it's like, why did we even do this big swerve into the cartoonish like supervillain shit that again is so dumb. Like, so dumb. Like, dumb on a level that I cannot believe is even possible. It's beyond comprehension how stupid this movie is. I have to give credit to Josh Hartnett, because legitimately I think he's giving it the best that he can with this dog shit of a script. I mean, like, holy mother of God, that script was fucking awful. Like, so bad. The dialogue in this movie, and I get it. Look, I understand that, like, you know, M. Night Shyamalan does this intentionally. His dialogue sounds that way intentionally, yada, yada, yada. It sounds like he has never had a conversation with a real human being. And when he's doing this shit in all of his movies, it's distracting. It takes away from what could have been a good performance, what could have been an entertaining movie, what could have been legitimately good if he wasn't fucking around the entire time. I don't know, guys. I'm at a loss for words with Trapped, because I really wanted this to be good. I really wanted him to just swing back and be like, hey, I am a serious filmmaker. I care about the craft. I care about what I'm doing. You know, I am not a hack. I'm not a con man. You know, I'm not this, like, dumbass who like stumbled his way into fame. I can actually do this, and he's proven to us that he can. Right? Split. A very entertaining thriller that you know, cut the fat. It didn't have the Shyamalan bullshit, and it worked. You know, people give him a lot of shit for The Village. That movie, at least that movie was ambitious. It was well crafted. The shots were incredible. You know, you didn't have dialogue that sounded like an alien wrote it. Speaking of alien, Signs. That's a great movie. The Sixth Sense, very good. Unbreakable, one of the better superhero movies that we've gotten, if you even count, but that's whatever. He has talent, is what I'm trying to say here. He knows how to make well-crafted and actually thrilling thriller films. This movie proves to us, at least to me, that he is just fucking around. He doesn't really care all that much. He doesn't put any thought into what he wants his movies to be, so he just has all of these ideas, throws them at the wall, and is like, okay, let's just do all of it. Let's not cut anything. Let's not edit this down at all. Let's go with the first draft. Fuck it. And it pisses me off because it makes money every single time. He has this like horde of supporters that just rally behind him every time. Oh, he's a misunderstood genius. He's one of the only original filmmakers in Hollywood right now. All these people, like, they hate Shyamalan for no reason. No, there is a reason. It's because he's a hack. It's because he has wasted talent. He has wasted his potential away and just makes bullshit. And this movie is a prime example of that bullshit. It is bullshit to the nth degree, and I am sick of it. I am sick of him duping us every single time and putting out a product that is so lackluster, that is such a waste of money, that man, fuck this movie. I'm sorry. I really, really hate Trap. It might be one of my least favorite movies to have come out this year. I hated it. Okay. I'm going to give Trap a 1 out of 5. This movie was dog shit. Visually, it was pretty interesting. Actually, I liked a lot of the visuals, and I commend Josh Hartnett for trying his best. But the rest of this movie can get fucked. Like, actually, this movie is terrible, and I'm sick of M. Night Shyamalan. I'm sick of people pretending that he's this misunderstood genius, that people should actually be paying attention to him, that they should be giving him more praise. No. He should be getting edited. He should be getting filtered through some cutoff there. But yeah, this movie's bullshit. M. Night Shyamalan is bullshit. And I'm done. So, thank you so much for watching that. Yeah, I promise that the next movie I review will not be an M. Night Shyamalan movie. So, yeah, I will see you guys in the next video.